Hello and welcome to another edition of Mailbag. What is Mailbag? Well, Mailbag is a feature of the channel where you guys leave lots of comments on the channel and I attempt to answer those comments, or if I can't answer those comments, I throw it out to you guys who have more knowledge on some of this stuff than I do. So let's get into the first mailbag of this session. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. Next question comes from Carlos Fernandez 8919. And this is in response to Roland S-50 Restoration Part 14. Completion now! God, what a slog that was in December 2023. And Carlos writes, I'm from Brazil and I'm not a technician, but can you tell me? This keyboard uses a switch source which stabilises the electrical current. You can use a similar new source following the voltages and amplitudes. If you don't know, perhaps a TV or hardware technician can build another power switching supply and change the entire font common switching power supply. This has been a real interesting piece. Now, there are electronics engineers out there in the synthesizer community that have rebuilt power transformers. I'm thinking of people like the Dutch company Synth. Oh, that's annoying. But there's a company in Holland that does this. There's a couple of other. And I saw recently a post on a JX10 group where the guy has effectively redesigned the power supply for the JX10. And it's a beautiful design the guy's done. And I did write to him and say, could this be swapped to an S-50? The problem with this is that, and it's the reason why sitting over here are two power supplies actually, waiting for me to get around to doing this piece of work. But a lot of people are nervous about designing power supplies and then selling them commercially. And the reason why they're nervous about doing this is because if one of these things happens to go wrong, and it's proved to be part of the reason the power supply is proved to be the culprit, there could be a legal case, especially in the US. I've seen a number of companies in the European Union that refuse to sell power supplies to the US on the grounds of they won't take the liability of somebody being electrocuted. But to take the source voltage, which in this region of the world is 240 volts, and reduce it to either 34 or 38 or 34 volts, and I can't remember the specifics because I'm not looking at it, but that's effectively what the S-50 does. The main transformer, which is funny enough, that thing that's sitting there, takes it down from 240 volts down to 38 volts or 34 volts, I can't remember. And then what happens is it then feeds that AC current into a rectifier board, and that rectifier board takes that AC voltage and transforms it down to a plus 15, a minus 15, a plus 5.2, a plus 6.2 and a 0 volt ground. Now I can easily acquire transformers that will replace the transformer for a board and give me plus or minus 15, plus 5. These are fairly standard electronic voltages and therefore relatively easy to come across. That top transformer will do exactly that. It will give me plus or minus 15 and 5 volts. Now the problem is that where you have a third main voltage, so in this case plus 6.2 volts, it makes it a little bit difficult because it is a bit of an odd voltage. What I can find is I can find transformers that will give me 6 volts. I can find transformers that will give me 5 volts. I can't find transformers that will give me plus or minus 15, 5 and 6. So I'm thinking I may have to build something going forward, but I need some time to think about it. So I've bought the stuff like I do with a lot of these things. I kind of had this rash. I think I'm going to do it this way. I go off and buy the parts to do it this way, and then because I'm in the middle of another project, it kind of gets put off. So at the moment I'm in the middle of a different project, and that project needs to sort of go through to fruition. I've got 3 projects on the go. Those projects need to go through to fruition before I pick this one up again. But that's kind of the main problem with this this power transformer. I don't know what I've done. I can't work out what I've done. I have, I bought the scope back from, I bought the oscilloscope back from storage before Christmas and then found out it didn't want to work. So I bought a new oscilloscope and I still haven't got round to doing this piece of work. So there are still things to come on this at some point in the future. Stay tuned. Next comment or question comes from Albert Beam 6891. What is it going on with all these 4-digit numbers? Does anyone know? Loads of people are getting 4-digit numbers. Is this some sort of YouTube pseudonym? I don't know. Mine is the Music Tech Guy UK, and I'm going to stick to that. Anyway, the Albert Beam 6891 writes, in response to Death of the Kronos, a video I did in December 2021, such a loser. Well, am I a loser? Good call, My only comment is, at least I'm trying to be relevant on a subject of legacy and more modern synthesizers. That's what this channel's all about. And repairing them, and hopefully more playing them. As opposed to a user who has been a member of this platform since 2013 and has 5 videos and 2 subscribers. Albert Beam 6891. And to be honest, if you can't give any constructive criticism as to why you think I'm a loser, why bother in the first point? Because all I'm going to do is take the mick out of you, which is what I'm doing. Now, in line with the rules of the channel, constructive criticism is accepted and normally published, whereas comments like this normally just earn you a ban. And guess what? I've put this one in because I can then turn around and say, Albert Bean 6891, you're fired.